Hello, my name is Tyrone Street, and this is my video blog titled Spiritual Integration. I would like to state that I have read the um, book Counseling Principles and Christian Beliefs by Daniel Denise. I have read that in its entirety. One of the counseling values from the book um, by the author Denise Daniels is the principle of fidelity. This is one of the values that I believe has really helped me in regards to my study. And the reason why I say that is that when it comes to fidelity and being there for the client, um, in spite of how the client may feel or how much the client may be committed to the process of healing in regards to their issues. Um, I have a tendency to be a person that as long as you are 100% in it, I'm 100% in it too. Um, but however, some people, when they're dealing with different life issues, they may not come in it fully committed. Therefore, I have to, as a counselor, be prepared to understand that and equip myself both mentally and spiritually to understand that I may do what is in my due diligence and what in my capacity and my ability to help them and to gain their trust, to basically trust the process of what God can do in the midst of counseling. So, um, Daniel, page 30, talks about fidelity. And one of the things that really enlightened me was where the author states this statement written by Paul in 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 13, and it says God knows something about faithfulness to those either from unwillingness or inability or unable to remain faithful. If we are faithless, he remains faithful, for he cannot disown himself. And so when we look at that scripture and really examine ourselves, there were times when we weren't committed. Then there may be times where we, as believers, aren't as committed as we need to be. We might would like to think that we're committed, but when I reflect on my life, there were some times that I was not totally committed to God, but He was constantly, totally committed to me until I came to myself and realized that um, I needed to make some changes. I needed to make some adjustments. I needed to self evaluate and evaluate my life and my life's decisions. This is applicable for those who come to counseling and those who need healing and deliverance. Their worldview, the client's worldview can be shaped by all types of circumstances and situations that we as counselors must understand and recognize and do everything in our power and our ability and our capacity to help them in ways by discovering their self awareness, by discovering our self awareness, by um, being faithful to the process, being faithful to them when maybe they don't have the capacity to be faithful to themselves. So this was a profound um, discovery for me in regards to a principle and a value that I will indeed continue to follow. One of the conflicts for me as a struggle for for being a counselor would be imposing my spiritual views upon the client because of my conviction in my faith. I will have to consciously make sure that I'm not imposing my beliefs on a person that may not have the same beliefs, may not have, may not be a Christian, may not be a person that is spiritual, may be entirely on the opposite end of the spectrum, so to speak. So, in doing that, I have to recognize that um, I have to put my personal beliefs aside, not away, but aside, and practice autonomy in allowing the client to make their own decisions without me imposing my belief system and my beliefs upon them, but allow them to self-discover and to critically evaluate what their life is about and what they're doing and what they want. And so um, the ACA Code of Ethics, of course, states that we should not impose our personal views. And so that would be a struggle for me, but I will continue to keep myself reminded that I should not impose my personal views and beliefs upon the client. I want to thank you for the opportunity to present this and hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless you. Take care.